Are you serious?
See
Yeah.
more.
Hey, wait, guys. Okay, change the subject. We can't let them hear about this stuff.
It took me to a thing.
Well, that
What thing?
hey, don't tell people you look at that stuff because that will get you in trouble, dude.
Yeah, your doctor said not to like share with anybody.
And remember, did you put it on safe search or search so it doesn't record your history?
Hey, tell me when we're live so I can turn off my music.
Right,
okay,
we're live, bud.
We're live.
Devil Driver.
Turn off your horrible music. All right, for everybody that's out there, I shared some real motivational, inspirational music, and I played Back to Pooh Corner by Kenny Loggins for Bill, and he did not like that at all. So for those that know,
did I hear Kenny Loggins?
Yeah.
Kenny. I'm sorry. It sounded like somebody was going diarrhea in a toilet.
Come on, man. You got to give Kenny Loggins some.
Come on, man.
Oh, he's great. Don't get me wrong. It's just there's a time and a place for the Loggins.
For the Loggins, yeah. For
the Loggins.
Do what you want to.
And like doing a pre-show pump-up jam isn't time for the little.
You don't want to hear Pooh Corner?
The flute music and the doodly-doos and the dingly-dings and whatever other.
We could have played Jethro Tull if you wanted to hear the flute music and stuff.
I'm okay with my Devil Driver.
Nah, I don't need none of that stuff. I feel like I'm going to go to hell when I listen to Devil Driver.
Actually, Des Fafara, the lead singer of Devil Driver, he's a vegan now, so it's all good.
Oh,
yeah, you and my wife with this vegan crap, dude.
I'm not a vegan. I just
Neither
play
is
on
my
TV.
Wife. My wife just tries to eat vegan, but she still eats some crap that's not vegan.
Hold on, guys. Hold on.
Wait,
before Bill introduces everything, okay? We gotta address all these fine people in this chat: John, Kelly, Lada, Rich Survival's wife,
Why
Zach,
don't you wait till
Clive.
we're live, Joe?
Sorry,
wait till we're live to announce everything.
Live.
Do me a favor, guys. Smash the thumbs up button.
Threw you off your game, Joe.
Smash the thumbs up button. Let's get it going. Okay, it's been a shitty week for a lot for
do that thumbs up.
Not me, because my life is perfect.
That's true.
We always tell them.
That's true. Interesting. But guess what Chris is doing tomorrow with his family? They're going to pick apples.
And sing Kumbaya and hold hands.
Come on, who doesn't like
Ricky?
Apples with your family and drink some apple cider and like just take some family pictures and.
Oh, my pictures too.
Or I'm excited to have to put a sweater on and put.
Are you filming like a new Christmas Prince Hallmark movie?
Yeah, I'm gonna start a new YouTube channel. It's gonna be a family vlogging channel.
Are you guys gonna all like sit in like a pile of leaves on the ground and pose in fall colors?
Yeah, and I'm gonna have someone bring a leaf blower, and then they're gonna blow the leaf blower, and it's gonna.
Chris's family is like every family you see on a photo, like a picture frame that you buy at Walmart. Like everyone, that's his family, just like perfect, just picture perfect.
You know what I usually do when I buy picture frames with these people in it? I just keep the people. I hang it on the wall.
Like, that's Ted and Lucy right there.
You know, the cool thing about that is if an assassin ever comes and breaks into your house or something like that, then he doesn't know who your real family is. He just sees the fucking fake people. Now, random fake people are going to get killed or something, but you know.
You put way too much thought into that, Chris.
Yeah.
I think I fixed it, Joe. You tell me yes or no. Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down.
Did you fix it? What did we fix
Let me refresh. Hold on.
I'll tell you in a minute. Hold on.
All right. Well, you guys are fixing that stuff. Let's get to the real subject.
Yeah, you did.
Thanks, Bill.
You did.
We're going to talk about scary stories.
Scary story. Wait, what?
Yeah,
I didn't get the memo on this one.
Scary HVAC
Scary HVAC stories, I hope.
That was next
tap
week.
your mic, Joe. Nope. Sorry.
Nope. We have a well-oiled machine here, and our show goes off without a hitch.
Our show doesn't even have a wrist or anything to put a ball and joint into, whatever. We don't have a hitch.
Bill, can you stop talking about balls, dude?
There's no hitch in my giddy up. That's cable guy, Mr. What's his name? Larry the Cable Guy.
So, Bill, what's your scariest story?
I don't have a scary story. Actually, that subject matter was for next week.
Yeah. What are you talking about? This is what I told you earlier in the week. I said, dude, let's not use that thumbnail because it's not Halloween yet.
I know. And then I said, next week I'm going to have a scarier one. Now we can tell scary HVAC stories. And you're like, cool.
Oh.
And then I'm like, cool.
So what are we talking about tonight?
I don't know. I didn't even know we were live until like 5 minutes ago.
Well, you were over there listening to your devil music.
I'm going to go back and listen to music. You guys are not very fun now.
You're a damn devil worshiper.
All right,
Bill.
so
I don't know if I can be friends with you anymore.
Well, since we are apparently live, first off, let's give props to all these fine people for just watching us be idiots on YouTube for no apparent reason.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Oh, by the way, our number one fan, Mr. Randy Ravioli and his little buddy Luke. If you can hear me, bark twice, Luke.
Have we ever seen that Luke is actually real?
I don't think. I don't know. I don't think we've ever actually seen like a real life video of him.
Has Randy ever shown any of us a picture or a video of Luke? Randy, I think you need to prove that Luke is real.
He posts
Randy's
pictures on
got a
Facebook.
YouTube channel, so.
Oh, maybe you need to put a video of Luke on your YouTube, Randy, on your YouTube channel, dude. That's where you need to put it because we'll all go over there and look at it. So put a video of Luke or a picture or something.
Here's the thing. He could pull any video offline, you know. So to know that we know for sure he's real, I want to see a picture of Luke with the Aprilaire 8444.
Absolutely.
In the same picture.
Watching Overtime.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, real quick. Hey, John, that subject was last week.
Yeah, the shit topic.
Oh, wait. We discussed that. I get
a 5-minute segment.
I get a time segment to talk about my shit stories. You guys promised that I could have a time segment.
Did we?
Yes.
I think that was after we were all drinking for the whole night.
I mean, I was sober, but I don't remember that.
Hey,
I like telling shit stories.
Talk about shit stories. How was your
week? It can't
week?
be real.
The worst week ever.
Me too.
Worst week.
I wouldn't say that mine was the worst, but it was definitely hectic. And then yesterday I had a or day before yesterday, I had a shit job that just turned into a late evening kind of a service call. And that one was a pain in the ass too. What about you, Adam?
So I didn't really want to talk about it. Joe wanted to like post this. I sent him a video because he wanted to see how it would work. And he wanted to post it on Facebook. I'm like, oh no, you're not posting this on Facebook. I'm going to get freaking ridiculed for this.
This is what you guys are talking about?
Yes, but it happens.
I didn't watch the video.
Yeah. So I guess we could talk about it because, you know.
Yeah,
do it.
Talk
really
about it. It
talk
happens,
about
dude.
it?
Sometimes you're in that situation. It's how you protect your bum and you work with that situation.
Let's think about it like this. Every time that I have shit my pants, which has been countless times, which you guys are going to give me time to talk about this, okay? But every time that I've shit my pants, it's been weird. I felt uncomfortable, but I get to laugh about it later. So tell us your shit story, Adam.
Go ahead.
All right, so I guess if anyone could remember from a couple weeks back, I posted like a short little video on Facebook of this like horrible evil hell of an attic installation furnace that I was ripping out, right? Well, I ended up relocating it like 15 feet to the side. I had to move ductwork, and all kinds of stuff. But they freaking insisted. I know everyone's going to say, why do you let your customer tell you what to do? Well, because they have a lot of money and they really want to give me a lot of it.
That's why.
So I really like at that point, like I'm just like, whatever. If you want to be stupid, you're stupid. Cool and rich. Awesome.
Yeah.
Listen, if you could charge your customer $4K, $5K for a humidifier, a steam humidifier, I'm doing it too, no matter where. I'll make it work.
So
put it right in your car.
Sorry, your customer.
One.
So anyway, so this furnace, I put a condensing furnace in the attic. Dumb. Anyway,
so for us West Coast guys, we have condensing furnaces in attics all the time. What's the big deal?
Yeah, but if it's really cold, like we had a polar vortex of less than, it was like negative 20 degrees for 10,
it's an
10 days
uninsulated
straight.
attic, right?
Yep.
Got it.
Anyways, this is what I did. Oh, let me tell you the best part. They also insisted on having a steam humidifier in the attic as well. And this is like an army crawl attic. It's crazy. So
now correct me again. Hold on real quick because I'm not super smart with the humidifiers, but don't they use like a misting device to spray the moisture into the air?
Steam, yes.
It's not a misting device, but
okay, steam.
Kind of like it.
But there's a the problem is it's like a big drum of water that it holds, right? Okay. So if it gets too cold, the water will freeze if the humidifier's not running. Right. And there's a water line running to it.
Is there a heater on it or anything?
No.
It just stays unfrozen by the continuous flow of water.
Yeah.
Well, it's not supposed to be in an unconditioned space, so you have to make improvise.
That's like one of the first things they say in the install manual is don't put this in a place where it could freeze. That was like step number 1 in the book. So I'm like, okay, on to step number 2. What are we at now?
Just cross that one out.
So
you guys just put some crankcase heaters around it.
So this is what I did. We built like a little, basically like insulated tiny little room or closet, if you will, insulated on all 4 sides for the humidifier, hung the humidifier inside of it, ran the drain, extended the drain, the old drain into it, I have the furnace drain running into there. There's a trap. I have a drain pan underneath it. I have a wet switch underneath the humidifier. The steam hose is running out, and it's longer than 6 feet, so I had to convert it over to copper, keep my pitch, drop down with a T and a trap for the condensated steam. I ran heat trace on everything. There's heat trace on the trap of the furnace. Everywhere there's heat trace. I have one of those what do they call them? Ranco?
Ranco, yeah.
I have a Ronco. That's what they say in California, Ron.
I know, Ron. Just like roof. But anyways, go on.
Anyways, I have that. I have it set to like 42 degrees. At 42 degrees, it turns on, powers an outlet, and turns on the heat trace. It also will engage one of those rib relays, and I have the rib relay installed, and I have 2 wires coming off.
Like a McRib relay.
RIB1UC, I think is the model number. Yeah. But anyways, I have 24 volts on the normally closed contact. So when it's not engaged, I'm powering closed. I have a little 4-inch zone damper on the supply that's running over to the little heated closet for the steam humidifier. So it's closed all the time unless it's under 42 degrees. Then it opens up and it heats that little closet for the humidifier.
And do you have your heat trace hooked onto? Like your heat trace not gonna be always on, right?
No, that's what I just said. It's hooked to that Ranco controller. Gotcha. But I also have 2 more. I have a sensor. I have another Ranco controller. I have the one sensor in the insulated heat trace with the drain line and everything. So if that drops below 38 degrees, it sends an alert to the thermostat. I'm closing contacts on the thermostat, and it will send an alarm on the thermostat. It says, I put on the screen, you need to get this shit fixed immediately. You know,
what kind of thermostat you have there?
Honeywell. It's the color touchscreen, but it's the equipment interface module. You know, it's like the 2-wire thermostat. And then I have another one set up that goes in the box of the humidifier, and it's monitoring the temperature in there. So if that damper fails or whatever else happens, that will also send alert to the thermostat. So I covered my butt. Everything I could possibly do to make it not break, I did. But it will probably break. It's a $2.5 million house, but they could afford a new one, so whatever.
So before all that, did you explain, like sit them down at the kitchen table and say, look, this is what could possibly go bad?
I've said stupid at least 20 times in the conversation leading up to it. I used the word stupid. I didn't say this is a bad idea. I said stupid. This is stupid.
Is he like an engineer or something, or like
They actually work at McDonald's.
Huh. So why does he? Why are they set on this? Why do they think it's
high office? Yeah.
I don't know, and I mean, let's just say I made really good money on this job. So I mean, and I told them I didn't want to do it many times, and I told them it's stupid, but I gave them the price, and I'm like, this will scare them away, and they're like, can you do it tomorrow? Damn it.
I hate that when that happens.
That's good money, though.
So that was a scary story. I'm still scared about it right now.
That's very scary.
It's all done and everything's fully operational for now.
Until it gets cold. Dun, dun, dun.
I can see the condensing furnace. You could probably get away with it if you do your due diligence, but the steam humidifier is kind of overkill, but whatever.
Do you have anything in place like a fail-safe, like a frostat or anything to sense if that main thermostat doesn't engage the heaters and everything does start to freeze? Do you have anything that'll
it is back
shut everything down?
So I have wet switches in each. So if something freezes and starts overflowing water or whatever, I have wet switches by the furnace. I have wet switches, a wet switch by the humidifier. And then I do have a separate control monitoring the temperature of the pipe where the drain is. So I'm monitoring the temperature. Cool. That is separate from what it's turning on and off. It's a separate control. And then I also have a separate control monitoring the temperature, the box temperature of the humidifier. What
about the incoming water?
Yeah, I have heat trace on that too. I mean, I'm not a plumber. I didn't run it. It was already there. I don't care.
Yes, that's what that Ranco's hooked onto. I was telling Adam, every time I put those hockey pucks in a drain pan in a space, I'm gonna start putting them in the supply plenum because it seems like every time I have a spill, the water's shooting into supply anyways. It's not shooting on the floor. You know what I mean?
Adam and I were kind of talking too over the week, and we were talking about having like redundancy on that. And I I was bringing up, it really wouldn't work, but I had this idea in my head. It'd be really cool if somehow he could set up the heat trace to fail safe to turn on. So like, let's just say something happened. Let's say the temperature controller failed or something like that. It'd be really cool if you wired it up to where the heat trace turned on when it failed, you know? Because I had mentioned that I did a video where I did some condenser fan motors and I had a temperature controller. I used a Johnson A421, I think. And I thought it was really cool because they had a function within the thermostat that if the sensor ever failed, it energized the load.
Nice.
I thought it was really cool. I was thinking
that because you pretty much have to do normally open contacts, right?
Yeah.
Would
Yeah.
have been cheaper just to.
Situation, though, it wouldn't. In my situation, my thermostat, I was thinking about it, wouldn't work for you because if something failed within the thermostat, let's say the board fried in the thermostat, well, the thermostat's what controls the logic to do the fail safe. So like that still wouldn't work. But if you could somehow wire it with a set of contacts or something like that, you know, that was before the thermostat or, you know, something weird like that to where you just had that redundancy where it fail safe the heat trace on. Be an interesting idea.
I probably could do that, but
why not just insulate the attic?
Or you could do that.
It's so small, dude. I sent you guys a video, and that was me laying on my back taking that video. That's
plus, you know how much you insulate it, it's still gonna reach. It could still reach below, you know, freeze point, right?
I mean, I think it's gonna be all right. To be honest,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think it's
for that. For what
so.
Chris is,
furnace next to it.
yeah, for what Chris is mentioning, wouldn't you just need another relay? You go hook it up.
Yeah, I would say just do a relay and do the so the relay gets energized, and then so if there's something ever happened, you lost power or something like that.
Yeah. So the 24 volts to the power of the relay.
That's right.
But you could still have 24 volts
holding the heat trace off, and it's before the thermostat. The relay is holding the heat trace off, so that way the thermostat controls the heat trace on and off. It's like another circuit. But then if you ever lost power to the thermostat or something like that, the relay would close the circuit and energize the heat trace.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I would have to think about it, but yeah,
sure I could do it. It's along those lines.
And I was thinking about it too after I left. I should have hooked up the normally closed contacts to the other S terminals on the equipment interface module to send a water alert if there's water in the drain pan. Instead of killing the device, like actually send an alert. You know what I mean?
Still kind of supply of power. I hear you.
Kill the device, but also send an alert. I didn't do that, but I was so sick of being in that attic, dude. I'm freaking. My knees hurt, my butt hurts. I'm old. I got more gray hair.
Actually, I was gonna show you.
Racing the gray, man. I'm just letting it come. So
yeah, I want to show a clip, but it's a vertical clip. It's not from me, and it's actually a guy I know.
It's from you.
Yeah, a guy I know.
I'm serious.
A guy I know did it.
It was a system like you dealt with, Adam, with that geothermal and all that. But it's the opposite. He's not concerned about saving energy per se. He's concerned more of the wear and tear of the heat pump. So the guy installed a Navian, and he used it like an Emerson 09101 temperature stat to kick on below freezing and give it a break. You know, when if it's not cold, whatever. Because realistically, we were talking about this a long time ago when you were doing that setup. You know, and I know above 120, the geothermal cannot produce pretty much, right?
For water to water, right?
Yes. And he has baseboard heating and he has domestic. Anyways, and I had a clip of it. He was just showing me the setup. It's a mess just like yours. He has to go in there. He has to put some like a 6-pack pump controller. He has to put what else? He has to do a few other things. But yeah, it's this way. He's just trying to save the wear and tear of the geothermal, not trying to save money. He put a Navian in, and so far it's working all right.
Nice.
So my pain in the butt call this week. I made a video, or I'm gonna make a video on it, so it'll come out eventually. But I made a repair on a system that was getting too cold. It was a walk-in cooler. They called and their kegs were all freezing. So I fixed another problem. I don't think the problems were connected. There was multiple things wrong with this system. But when I was all finished, it'd been a long day. We repaired it. Yeah. And then I found that the head pressure control valve was bypassing when it shouldn't be. So the head pressure control valve floods the condenser, raises the head pressure, creates a pressure differential, all that stuff. I have a picture to show right now, Adam. So approve.
Oh, awesome! You got a picture?
Yeah.
Did a little picture?
It's a little picture.
And yeah, go ahead.
Just tell me when.
When
Okay. So this is the head pressure control valve. Now this isn't the problematic one, but I have a cutaway of a head pressure control valve, and then I have a one that's not cutaway. But the valve itself was bypassing and allowing the discharge gas to flow right into the receiver downstairs when it didn't need to. So I had higher than normal system head pressure, and it was causing some problems. So I went ahead and bypassed the head pressure control valve, and I'll show you guys real quick. And this is the image of the old head pressure control valve. I pulled it apart, and if you guys look really closely, there's a little piece of copper right there. And I'm going to show you a close-up picture. That tiniest little burr right there, that's just a burr from a copper line, got stuck in the head pressure control valve and was allowing it to bypass.
That's from somebody deburring the lines.
That's right. Yeah. And it's just like what's it called? TXV. When you're not deburring, you're not careful, it'll go right into TXV and block that.
So here's a question, devil's advocate. If you're a company owner and you're worried about people doing things right and everything else, is it more problematic to have them deburring stuff and having shavings fall into the pipe and then potentially causing issues with the system, or just saying, leave the pipe freaking beveled a little bit and freaking solder it, braze it together, and call it a day?
That's a good question. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, but when you're dealing with a 1/4-inch line.
Well, yeah, like for mini splits or whatever you're flaring, I could see that. You have to do it. A 1/4-inch line, yeah, but like anything bigger,
or train him to cut the pipe a little slower, if that makes sense.
Well, you know what I do?
With a better blade.
Well, what I do is when I'm cutting the pipe, I will score it with the tubing cutter, but then don't go all the way through and then snap the pipe. So even up to 7/8, you do about 4 turns with the tubing cutter. You kind of get the feel for it. Then you break the pipe off, and there's a lot less of a burr.
I do that with. I started doing that. The tool that you use to ream conduit?
Yeah.
The conduit reamer, one might call it. Where'd he go?
He did me. I'm not the only one. He did me.
This guy just disappears. I'm in the middle of our conversation. He's gone. He's out of here. Should we wait for him, or should we continue on with the conversation?
He wasn't listening anyway.
Oh, there he is.
I meant to stop the screen share. Yeah.
What were we talking about?
You were talking about the pipe tool for reaming conduit.
Oh, yeah. So I would always carry that with me in my Vito, right? And I'm just trying to clear out tools because my bag weighs like 200 pounds and my back's getting old and everything. So what I started doing is cutting the conduit with the rigid tubing cutter and going through and stopping a little bit early and cracking over my knee. And there's no burr on the inside. It's like perfect, right?
I told whenever you're deburring copper that you really only deburr it if you can make absolutely 100% sure the little shavings are going to come out, meaning you can like hold the copper vertically.
Yeah, if you've got a downspout, like if you're on the downside and you can't get, like for instance, when I was replacing that head pressure control valve, I had to do a to bypass the head pressure control valve. I ended up having to cut the line on the downside, and I couldn't deburr that. So what I did was when I was cutting it, I was very careful and I tried to snap it, but even still there's a tiny little burr, but I just left it. You just leave it alone as long as it's not hanging off. Now, if something's hanging off, you got to pull it off because it's going to break away. Now, in my situation on the head pressure control valve, the more I think about it, that burr came from the discharge line. Okay. I installed that system 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. And the only braze joints I did was on the suction and liquid line connection on the outside of the condenser. I don't think that came from me, because if it came from me, it would have had to have come back in on the suction line, go into the scroll compressor, go down into the oil sump, get pumped all the way out of the compressor into the discharge line, come up. No, that was a factory defect. That was from the factory.
I think we should cut the thing open and actually see whose fault it is.
Let's do it.
Look at the oil of the compressor.
Yeah. You know what? On a side note, we might have a failed compressor shortly because of you'll see in the video. And if I do, I will remember and I will cut it open. If the compressor is full of burrs, then it's my bad. But maybe. Yeah. If the compressor's full of burrs, it's my bad.
Some security tapes.
So, Chris, when you guys are doing your installs and like running your copper lines and that, like how many times do you guys actually get out of using sawzall blades?
We don't ever use sawzall. I've had technicians do it, and I have to scream at them. Even when we're demoing old. No, it's a serious thing. I literally have to tell my guys before every job, do not cut anything with a Sawzall without asking, because even when we approach a replacement job, let's go say we're going to replace a walk-in cooler with a line set and a condenser and an evaporator. Sometimes stuff happens. Sometimes you plan on changing the line set and then you realize that you can't get to half of it. So I've made mistakes where you go and chop crap off and then you're like, oh crap, I'm not going to change the line set anymore. And then you have to deal with the repercussions. So no, we cut everything until we're absolutely sure we're not going to change anything. Then we'll bust out the Sawzalls and, you know.
I've had somebody in the past that I would have to, it would make me so mad all the time. We would actually keep the line sets and he would cut it like at the coil. You know what I mean? And I would be like, oh, don't do that. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Is that your Keanu Reeves impression?
Get on the bus. What?
Actually, I found a clip here. Maybe Kelly wants to see, and you, Adam, because you dealt with the system a mess like this. If you want to, if I could share a screen, I could do it.
Did you just Did you just super chat us, Joe?
Yeah. It felt nice. I sometimes just got to get it out of my system.
How poor we are. We got to give money to ourselves.
That's what they call the circle of life.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey guys, hit the thumbs up button. It's that easy, Joe.
Thank you. Thanks. I found the clip here. Let me share a screen here. Let me see if I could do this without share screen. Okay, let's share this one. Oh, where'd it go?
It went right here, Joe.
Oh, now you're showing. Yeah, show us your search history, Joe. Come on.
Oh no! Oh, come on. I thought I seen an address in
Oh,
there.
come on, dude. I swear it's like my wife trying to set up the
He was
computer.
talking to Ike. He was on with Ike. What?
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let me try that again. I did the wrong
You know what?
screen.
You know what? I think you need to help Joe out. We need to get Ike and Joe connected so that way Ike can do everything on Joe's computer and set it up. Ike, I'm going to pass your information over to Joe.
I think Ike should be in Joe's like earbud, talking to him through the show every.
Like telling him stuff.
Yeah,
What to say.
Forget
Yeah.
it.
Joe needs some technical
It's
help.
real easy, Joe. You like pops up on the screen and says, "Do you want this one or this one?"
Yeah, but every
But you
time
have it ready. You have it ready, and then
it's
minimize
ready,
it
and then
real
it disappears. Oh, minimize it. Gotcha.
minimize it real quick, and then
Gotcha.
and then you pick which screen, and then you hit maximize, and it pops up, and then you screen
Did
share.
you guys see that video that Joe posted where he changed that TXV out, but he put like leak lock all over the damn thing?
I do remember that, dude. He had leak lock everywhere when he did that.
Joe did it.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
Oh wait, was that Joe?
That was Joe.
There you
It
go.
was Joe. He was Canadian, so it had to be Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that wasn't me. That was the other lookalike Joe.
Nunez, was it, whatever his name is?
Noonian, Joe Noonian.
Nunez?
Yeah.
So there's a geothermal unit.
Okay.
What the shit is that thing?
I know, right?
That looks
And
like a box on the ground. I'm
Looks
confused.
like a
dude.
box of just
this
wires.
is where he's putting all the 6-pack
That's
for the
what
That
Codes?
is a freaking dude.
Yeah.
Those wires look like donkey turd.
That
Yeah,
looks like
he does.
Chevy Chase's Christmas light.
domestic hot water tank, buffer tank.
That looks like my brother's
This is him
little
showing
wiring
me.
job he's got in his basement. He'll
Hey,
know
but-
it.
but to be
Imagine
fair-
going to this job, and you got all this to to look at and diagnose. So this is him
Nope.
showing me where he did.
To be
light
fair,
on fire.
my mechanical room would probably look like that. I'd have wires everywhere.
Yeah, that's
So-
the Navian input. That's the temperature control. So if it goes below 30, it'll kick on the Navian.
Right.
And he put this timer just so in those cases we have sometimes these electrical spikes. So that's another precaution he put so he could increment 12 hours on, 12 hours off in between the two. So if it's high hydro, he could switch it back and forth.
Is he like an engineer or what's going on here?
No, he's just a Canadian.
What a dick.
I have a question. Do all Canadian have sexual attraction to moose?
I do. I
How do
don't
you say
believe there's.
multiple moose? How do you say
Meese?
moose?
I think it's Mises.
Mises? Mooses?
Yeah. When there's a gaggle of Mises.
You guys should see the pictures that Joe shares. Anytime he sees a Canadian moose, he just takes a picture of its butt and then sends it to us.
They have some nice asses.
Honestly, though, like in a system like that, usually you need to just dumb it down and start from the basics, right? You need to start isolating things. Isolate the boiler, try fire in the boiler. Isolate geothermal, try fire in geothermal.
Is it just me, or did that whole thing look overly complicated?
Oh, that is nothing, dude. That doesn't even scratch the surface to the one I'm doing right now.
That looks so. That
Still
looks
pretty
so,
complicated, dude.
That is nothing. That is nothing.
Well, compared to that job you had, yes, but that's compared to many. It's a lot of shit.
Yeah. I mean,
You know what I
it
mean?
is complicated, but
Yeah.
Whew, my head's hurting just thinking about it.
About that job, yeah.
So how many times have you guys, and I've done this many times out in the field, when you've had people just butcher equipment? You'll go up to a
Every day.
air conditioner refrigeration system and there's just wires everywhere. And it's like, and it honestly, when you see stuff like that, to me, as long as you understand the sequence of operation, it's literally just easier to rip everything out than
Right.
switch over electronically and wire it the way that you know it needs to.
There was somebody, I should have downloaded the picture, but there was somebody on Facebook that posted, I don't know if it was real. I don't know if the guy was really serious or he was just trying to stir people up, but it was a Honeywell zone board. And he said, guys, I need some help, please. I'm working on this system. And the dampers for both zones are open all the time. I can't figure it out or whatever. And he showed the wiring, and they had a Honeywell HZ22 or whatever, 322 or whatever, the nice Honeywell zone board, jammed sideways with wires all over inside of an RZL zone box. They ripped all the guts out of the RZL zone box, and he showed pictures of the dampers, and he had pneumatic dampers.
What?
There's pneumatic, and everyone's like, are you serious? Are you serious? Do you think it was real? It couldn't have been real.
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder if people stage these pictures on Facebook. Sometimes you see some stuff in some of the Facebook groups and you're like, there's no way that could be real.
Yeah.
I know videos.
Just like mini splits on the outside, the head units
Or,
on the outside.
where there's a picture floating around Facebook
What's up, Rick?
Like a residential split system condenser hanging upside down from the ceiling.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like-
I heard that's actually real. Somebody posted a comment about
How
that.
can oil circulate through that
The compressor
Does
is
the oil-
not the compressor. They flipped the compressor. They built a stand internally and they flipped the
okay.
compressor.
Excuse me.
That's
But
what I read
did
about
they
it.
flip the condenser fan motor, or is the condenser fan motor blowing heat down?
I'm sure
I
it's
would think
blowing
they need
down. I'm sure
That's
it's
just dumb.
But what's the point of putting it upside
Space,
down?
They had nowhere to put it, and they're
Yeah.
idiots or something. You know,
Just for show, I guess.
they put more ingenuity in building a
Well-
stand compressor to mount upright.
Have you guys seen Ted's video on that? The two train 20 sears, I think they were.
I did watch his 20 seer. It was the ones that he installed, right?
No,
Oh, then that was
they
never
were
mind.
they were in a closet, an outdoor closet, and an engineer lived there. And it was like an enclosed closet, and there was lattice on the outside, and he had like a little box fan almost. And he would switch it from heating to cool mode, and he would just like turn the fan, flip it upside down, and put it back in. And it would blow the air out. And I think the compressors went bad on him.
I thought it was pretty cool. I was watching one of Ted's recent videos where he worked on some old school train. Maybe they weren't 20 series, but they were like 18 series, but the old school high efficiency units, and he installed them. And he was saying like I don't think he's ever worked on them before, and he installed them. And they lasted that long. It's kind of sad because you can't get that equipment that'll last that long these days.
Yeah. Doc, this is the little things that you drive you nuts. Doc Weatherby had a water source heat pump today that somebody wired the 24 volts together. It also went through a time circuit, and they hit it behind everything. Was driving me nuts to find it. Those are the little things that drive you nuts. And when you're trying to diagnose a huge problem.
Yeah.
If you're doing something, if you put a splice somewhere up in the ceiling or whatever, listen, don't be the guy that's trying to make it look nice and tuck it behind, the line set or a board or whatever. Keep the pigtails in a visual somewhere where people could freaking see what the heck is going on.
I'm going to tell you one. So I was chasing an air conditioning call one time, trying to figure out a no cooling call, and it's driving me nuts. And, you go down to the thermostat, you turn it on, you go upstairs, and it would have voltage, but then it would disappear like the thermostat was bad. This was an old Mercury thermostat, and the customer didn't want to change from the Mercury stat. They wanted to leave it. They liked old school, which is fine. Long story short, they had a twist timer somewhere else. It was a room that they didn't use all the time. And they would click the twist timer for 60 minutes if the room was going to be occupied. So trying to chase a problem without knowing that twist timer was there. So basically, you would have to turn the twist timer, and then the thermostat would control the air conditioner.
Yeah.
But if the twist timer was off, you would get no call.
So it's like a little egg timer.
Yeah, just a little timer.
yeah,
But I mean,
that-
it was just, I remember the first time, it's like, oh my gosh.
That always happens to like new houses I go to that have radiant heat, Joe, where they have manifolds all over hidden in the house, like in God knows where. And the people are like, no, there's nothing else. This is it. This is it.
And how do you find them? How do you find them on the off cycle? Like, how do you find them?
Yep.
You can't locate them. How are you going to do it? There's no way.
Yep.
Really, if you think about it.
True.
But
anyway,
anyways, yeah.
Good stories.
what about
Good
you, Bill?
stories.
Bill, you have not had a story. We need something from you.
Yeah, what's going on, Bill?
I don't have horror stories that I can share.
He's a rock star.
with you guys. You remember how we were like having that conversation about the mistakes he made, and then Joe didn't have any mistakes that he's ever made in his entire career?
That
I
was
just
true.
couldn't find. I couldn't think of any. We all do mistakes. I'm still doing mistakes.
My horror stories really aren't horror stories. They're just like jobs that have just gone to shit. You know, everybody's had those jobs where like one thing goes bad or something fails, and it's just a snowball effect. Like even when you start out with the best of intentions, next thing you know, you're 8 hours into a day and nothing's working for you.
Well,
when you guys think about jobs, oftentimes as I'm going through the job, I'm trying to, in my brain, trying to figure out what happened and why it happened. You're trying to solve the mechanical problem, but then at the same time, I don't know why, but I feel guilt when it comes to thinking about how big the bill's getting. Like I just did that job with the air pressure control valve. That was a huge one. And as I was doing it, I was just in my brain, the dollar signs were racking up because that was an all-day job. And then we found the head pressure control valve. And then I had to come back a day and a half later to change that. And it's just like, and I feel guilty. I don't know why I feel guilty though, because I'm a contractor.
I always feel guilty except for this attic job. I felt no guilt. And if anything, I would like to like add sales tax on the job or something like that, Yeah.
You know what's funny? Me and Bill mentioned that we both got killed on a failing headmaster before. I know I have on a universal one. You always check the charge, like you think your charge is screwed up, right? And that's how that's how I learned.
I mean, yeah, that's how I learned to diagnose it. You just add a little bit of gas to it and see if it reacts accordingly. And
that too, yeah.
Mine didn't.
It's easier for me to say that headmasters don't confuse me, but they do. But they're so easy to grab the lines and just feel like, okay, this one's bypassing right now. What's going on here?
But let's say you just go to a unit and you have no idea really about these headmasters. Like, let's say,
But then if it's low on,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, if it's low on charge, it's still going to bypass, and then you're still going to feel it. I'm like, yeah, all right, it's bypassing. But then you're like, well, why is it bypassing?
The most confusing headmaster calls we get out here because we have mild weather. Okay, first off, let's real quick. Head pressure control valve. What it does is it blocks off. This is the easiest layman's explanation of a head pressure control valve.
There's a little calling these people in the chat layman's?
No, but it's easy. Okay, is it shuts off the
layman's make lemonade
coming out of the condenser. Okay, it shuts off the flow of refrigerant. It's just like blocking the condenser with a piece of cardboard. It drives the head pressure up. Okay, there's a little bit more to it. You need a proper amount of refrigerant charge for it to work right, but on a head pressure control valve, one of the hardest things that we get out here because we have mild weather. I think I told you guys tomorrow where we're going to go pick apples on our perfect family event. It's going to be like 52 degrees. So it's going to be cold. We're going to have sweaters and beanies and Ugg boots and all that crap because we don't know what cold is here in California.
I bet when Chris goes and picks apples, there's just soft violin music.
And I bet they really are sweaters and not like sweatshirts or hoodies.
They're cardigan sweaters, I'll bet.
And they're cardigans.
They're wearing like the fisherman.
Probably matching or like similar colors.
Oh yeah,
embroidered with their name.
Right? That all of our sweaters are going to match.
Like number one dad,
everybody
mom.
Number one.
I'm that person. Everybody in my family is going to have an HVACRvideos hat, shirt, beanie, pants.
Absolutely.
Well, not your wife. We sent her an overtime shirt, so
we did.
Watch out.
Oh, did you?
Trying to win her over. Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. But so with the head pressure control valves, we have mild weather here. So we'll get the call from the customer that, hey, my walk-in doesn't work in the morning, but it works in the afternoon. And those ones are confusing for us because we'll go out in the afternoon and it's working fine. And that's a charge issue. It's not the headmaster that's the problem or head pressure control valve. It's the fact that there's not enough refrigerant. And when the head pressure control valve bypasses, there's not enough refrigerant to flood the condenser. So those ones do get a little bit confusing. And you just learn to know it works in the morning or it doesn't work in the morning. It works in the afternoon. Check the refrigerant charge. That's the easiest way. We've learned that one.
I know nothing about refrigeration. My wife would
I'm
say, "You don't know
surprised
anything."
you didn't see headmasters down where you live, Chris. But I guess it does dip down, kind of cool at times. So.
Kind of don't need them. I mean,
probably get by with just a fan cycling switch. I'll bet.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of fan cycling, but yeah, you can get by. Fan cycling can be really violent. If you ever look at a sight glass when a fan cycle control shuts off,
that constant swing of pressure.
It's floods. Fills up with liquid, drops down, turns on. It's very violent. If you watch a head pressure control valve bypass, it's not as violent. It's not as
smooth transition.
Yeah, it's not. So if you have multiple fans, 2, 3 condenser fan motors, then fan cycling is perfect because you stage the fans. Number 3 turns off, number 2 turns off, number one stays constant and it's a slow. But if it's one condenser fan motor, the on off of the fan motor I'm not a fan of cycles.
You know what used to be really, really scary to me was externally equalized thermal expansion valves.
Okay. I mean, I still can't explain the complete operation off the top of my head.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Like, I understand how they work and what they do, but at the same time, like, it is kind of confusing, especially when you start thinking about, I was trying to have this conversation the other day with John, you know, my boss there. But we never got time to really finish this conversation. But I was trying to figure out what a TXV is doing after the system pumps down. System pumps down. Let's say it's a walk-in cooler. System pumps down. Temperature is slowly rising from 34 to, we'll say, 38. So within that little tiny temperature differential,
it's going to open.
What is that thermostat doing? So if you think about it, like there's maybe 3 to 5 psi on the underside of that diaphragm coming off that externally equalized tube. That sensing bulb on the power head, it's sensing that pipe's got to be like 34, 35 degrees. So even if it's charged R22, I guess, let's say they have the same charge, right? The sensing bulb and the entire system have the same charge, 404, whatever, right? So we have like 3 to 5 psi inside the system pushing up on that diaphragm. Then that sensing bulb is, sitting at 34 degrees inside the box, right? So it's probably like I'm thinking it's pushing open a little bit more, but then again, you got the superheat spring in the bottom of that TXV pushing up too. So it's, I know it has to be.
Dude, I genuinely don't think about it this hard.
We should have Jamie Kitchen.
Slept in 3 days.
I really don't think about it this hard. I don't. Joe's glitching.
Joe,
yeah, he's joining the matrix here.
Sorry, guys.
You should call Jamie Kitchen. Let's get him on here.
You know what? No, Joe, I'm gonna set you up with Ike, dude.
No, it's okay.
Your mic's not working again.
Dave G made
your mic's off, bro. I need another beer.
I know, right?
Oh, snap. My wife's home. Hold on. My wife is really nice.
Yeah.
We know, Chris. Okay. God.
Number one mom.
You tell us that like every day. Yeah, number one mom.
Oh, I was glitching. I just seen the screen.
Prince.
Wow. Number one.
Yeah, so
I bet you guys like decorate for Christmas and
I don't think I'm gonna I don't think I'm gonna
trees.
do this year. I started the whole smart RGB Christmas light
I
extravaganza.
remember that extravaganza, yeah.
But I'm just too busy. I don't think I'm gonna even start it.
Google Translate Ray Perez's stuff. I can't. It's not even Canadian. I don't even know what that is.
It's
That's
not
What
Canadian.
language is that, bud?
That's twiggly lines, man.
Ancient alien language.
Yeah, that's like Aztecian Spanish or something.
We'll just,
it's like mixed, eh?
We'll just file that.
Pretty sweet. He's probably saying how awesome Joe is.
I'm curious. I'm gonna look it
Maybe
up.
he's interested. I don't know. Well, you could just say it in English. You don't have to hide it. Everybody's pretty open.
Maybe that's the only thing he speaks. Aztec.
And then how did he spell his name? Ray Perez.
Look at my
maybe-
wife straight asked me how many I've had.
Well, I think
See,
it
that's
is
not-
probably time we sit down in a circle and have a conversation about your drinking.
My wife would not have said that. If I would have asked my wife to bring out a beer, she would have said, "How many do you want?"
Yeah.
It did have high superheat.
So-
It's Amharic. That's what Clive was saying. It's called Amharic.
My goal is to be as cool as Bob from NoFX.
Oh,
That's my goal.
No, I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
who's Bob?
No,
Bob.
Cool.
NoFX have a song about Bob.
Oh,
Bob the
Bob.
Builder.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
And I want to be as
Mm.
cool as him.
Well, mine is Bob Vila. You guys know Bob
You
Vila?
guys don't even know what's happening right now.
What's happening?
She just handed him to you. Pah.
And a freaking banana nut muffin.
See,
That's
you
it.
gotta.
Whoa.
I'm done. I'm done with the show.
I have the best wife ever. Oh, that is awesome.
That is pretty sweet.
I
That
get a
is
banana
awesome.
nut muffin, a homemade fresh baked banana nut muffin, and a beer. Yeah.
You know, actually,
I got nothing else to do.
Was
really.
she like
I'm back.
was she in the kitchen like baking, and your kids like sitting on the couch like reading books by the fire?
Yeah.
I don't think the fire was
Yeah.
going. The kids were probably doing something like that. Yeah.
Did you practice your violin?
Tennis. They're my
Oh,
oldest.
tennis. Okay.
you know, it's funny. He was on the ball today, Chris, because we're in the beginning of just hanging out on here, and what was I getting a beer or coffee, and Chris is like, why don't you just have a coffee beer? I'm like, fuck,
Exactly.
that's genius. That's genius.
Two birds,
Coffee
one
beer.
stone.
Coffee beer. Well, technically, this one isn't a coffee beer, but they do. There's a brewery out there called Modern Times. They make a beer, and it's got a high percentage of caffeine in it. It's a super good beer too. It's a dark ale. This one that I'm drinking is a hazelnut, so it kind of tastes like coffee, but it doesn't have any coffee in it. But
How about just a simple Coors Light?
no, I don't drink piss beer
All right,
anymore.
what does everyone think?
Oh my god,
Coors Light
Yeah.
or Busch Light? Which one?
they're
Neither.
both pretty good. They're both not bad.
Cheap Scotch.
No, I got
That was my beer of choice.
Well, here's another. Yeah,
good Scotch.
here's another thing. It just came to mind. You know, it's coming to the end almost, but another thing that came to my mind is Adam. I was mentioning to you when you're doing like, let's say, hydronic snow melt in a driveway. Usually, when we do houses, they don't have sidewalks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever come across a house you're doing snow melt and you come to a sidewalk? What do you do?
Melt the
What the
sidewalk.
hell? The language
What do
that
you
dude
do?
is typing is Amharic.
Yeah, Clive mentioned it.
HARIC. I've never
Yeah.
heard of
Why'd you delete it, Joe?
Because who knows what he's
no,
saying?
No, he's typing some weird crap in there. No, it needs to be different.
Yeah,
It's talking about bad stuff.
How do you know?
Clive said it.
I just Google translated. It's really bad.
Because I speak that language.
There you go.
Yeah, no, it's legit. Does not belong in our chat, but yeah,
Herrick?
yeah, it was very interesting, dude.
The what he said or the dialect?
What he said.
I'm not
anyways.
against change. I'm just pro things staying the way they are.
What the hell? Oh yeah, it's conspiracy theorist crap.
Of
Yeah,
course.
We
Always.
speak American in here. Oh, by the way, if you ever see a big old flat mountain, it's actually a tree stump.
Oh my gosh.
Flat Mountain where?
I don't know, anywhere.
Flat
Anywhere
mountain.
you see a mountain that's just perfectly flat, we call them plateaus.
You could put in a hex on us.
Flat earthers.
All right,
Dude,
Joe wants to show
Banana
something.
has chocolate chips in it, man.
Yes, I'm gonna show you guys how
Chris's
I do
wife
it.
is Aunt Millie.
It doesn't come often that we have sidewalks when we're doing snow melt. Now the city frowns upon this. We
Franz?
still do it.
Yeah, what's a frown?
Frowns. What did I say? Franz?
Franz. Hans
Drink
and
to that.
Franz. Wait, what is that from Saturday Night Live? I'm Hans and he's Franz, and we're here
Yep.
to
Hans and Franz.
pump you up.
Nice. Anyways,
Franz.
so this is what we do. Let me get here. Let me share screens again. Make sure there's no Americ on my screen.
Oh, these are vegan, by the way.
Can you mail me one?
Awful.
I'll do that.
Share screen. Oh, hold on. Am I sharing screen?
Bringing a
Yeah.
digger?
So you get an excavator, step one.
No, that's the landscapers, right? They're the ones doing the whole job. And I get them an iron pipe, and we torpedo it through the sidewalk. So
That's cool.
yeah,
Doesn't it-
and so
you got a cap on there?
no, it's open. I don't care. And it's raining. I was so cheese that day. But then I stick a 6 feet piece in there just to hold the hole until I got the tube. But then imagine when I'm running the tube, one, I did it the hard way. I ran 300 feet, 330 feet, whatever, through the hole, back, forth, back and forth, back and forth. I had to. You have to melt the sidewalk because you're gonna have a big spot of snow on the sidewalk.
Can I ask a series of questions?
Go ahead.
Series of
So,
questions.
if you're like just jamming that black pipe underneath that sidewalk, right?
Who's that guy?
Yes.
Okay, so if you're jamming that,
Worker.
isn't it just gonna fill up with like dirt as you jam it through there?
Who cares? We just want the hole. We just want the hole. That's what we want.
So that's like you're just popping a hole through there, and then you're just feeding the pecs through there.
Yes. Eventually, when we run the lines, we're gonna feed the pecs.
Huh?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you're not actually doing like the other ones you posted, where it's all like one continuous piece of pecs. Or
It is
whatever.
continuous.
Is
Okay,
it?
that's a good point, Bill. It is continuous. That's the whole drag about it. I'm doing 330 feet through one hole, going down, coming back,
Although-
putting in the hole. Just doing the sidewalk.
Although
Yes.
it is, if you were using, I don't know about, does Rayhow have the expansion where it's like the plastic rings that go over it, or do they have the crimp tool?
No, it's the stuff I usually use. It's expansion.
So
You think
those
they're
are
gonna make all those joints?
those are actually rated to be buried. You could bury those.
I understand that, and I do it. But if I have to make zero joints, which I on this driveway I did 0 joints. I'm gonna do 0 joints.
Yeah,
It's
true.
better than
True.
So you're doing the sidewalk. They want the sidewalk, and they're gonna have a melted sidewalk as well.
Hey, Joe, there's another trick. I learned this on YouTube. Anywhere, people don't learn, actually do learn things on YouTube, unlike our show here on Overtime. But so what
Hey,
somebody,
don't forget, I get my story. I get to tell my story, so
All
leave
right.
me time.
so what I saw, this dude, he did it under a driveway, and he had black pipe too. I think it was smaller. I think it was like 1/2 inch though. What he did was he put a fitting on so he could put a garden hose with a valve on the black pipe.
Yeah,
And he
a
would
pipe
kind
male
of
adapter or
jam it in a little bit, turn on the water, and just work it back and forth. And the water, it like
Like a
moves
jet,
away.
yeah.
It moves away the dirt, and you could just move it by hand. You don't need the freaking backhoe,
Yeah, but that was easy. It makes it look easy.
Yeah, how
dude.
often do you have a freaking backhoe next to you, Joe?
What do you mean?
How often do you actually
I know,
have a
I know.
backhoe sitting there where you're like, hey,
Honestly, when you're doing your driveway, you try to request for it that they have one on site usually, but it's a drag. Regardless, it's a drag. But these customers want their sidewalk done as well. There's a piece of driveway after the sidewalk. You want that melted plus the sidewalk, or else what's the point of having a snow melt on your driveway, right? So that's what we do. They loved it, and they're gonna love it. But yeah,
good job, Joe.
yeah.
All right, so let's step back to I was 17 years old,
Uh-oh.
and I was driving in my little piece of shit 88 Chevy S10, driving home, and my little brother was with me.
Corona.
And I didn't take my little brother with me very many places. I don't remember what we were doing that day, but we were driving home. We were about 20 minutes from our house where we lived. And my little brother looks at me with big eyes and he goes, dude, pull over the truck. And I said, what? Like, we're almost home. And he goes, dude, I got to shit. And I said, nah, bro. Like, dude, we're 20 minutes from home. And by now I'm starting to laugh. I'm like, dude, we're going to be home in 20 minutes. He goes, and he looks at me and he goes, dude, pull over the truck now. So I'm like, all right. So I pull over. We're in a neighborhood, right? And so I pull over next to someone's house. And I think, dude, my little brother's going to go run into someone's house, like knock on their door and take a shit. He gets out of the truck and he runs to the side of their house and he disappears in their bushes. And I'm like, what the, dude, I'm dying hysterically. I'm crying right now. What the hell is my brother doing, dude? My brother was probably 15 at the time, something like that. And, a couple minutes later, he comes out without a shirt on. And again, I'm dying. Like, what the hell just happened, dude? Like, I'm crying. And I look at my brother and I go, and all he's wearing is a wife beater now. And I go, where's your shirt, dude? And he goes, I had to take a shit in their bushes. And I go, you shit in that random person's bushes and you wiped with your t-shirt? And he goes, yeah, what else was I supposed to do?
I would have wiped with the wife beater.
Dude, we drove home. I was crying. I remember walking in the door and my dad was home. And I remember telling my dad, dude, what? Like, oh my God, I couldn't even get it out. My dad's like, just spit it out. I go, Daniel just shit in someone's bushes. Like, what the fuck?
That's really not even the funny part. The funny part is the dude going outside to do his landscaping, filing a big pile of crap with a shitty shirt sitting next to it.
Poor gardener. That I genuinely thought that. The poor gardener, that because it was like a nicer house again, too. And yeah, to think the poor gardener's back there, cleaning the bushes. And he's like, oh, what's this? And he's like, yeah, big old pile of shit.
It's poop again.
Yeah.
I bet that gardener got fired because the guy came out and
probably thought the gardener took a
gardener
shit.
shit in the lawn, shit in the bushes again.
Oh man.
Probably called ice on him.
That's my shit story for today. So
Hey,
It was a good one.
yeah.
that was a good one.
What's your shit story, Joe?
When I had to go once, I remember I just shit on the floor, dude. I just shit on some sawdust. There was some sawdust on the floor from a pile.
Animals, man.
Yeah, I know, right?
What else are you supposed to do? There's nothing worse. Like, it's funny later, but at the time, there's nothing worse than shitting in your pants.
Man, I don't think I've ever been to that point where it's even crossed my mind. Like, I got to drop trow and do it right here.
No?
Oh yeah.
No, man. I really believe like I could probably hold it in for like 6 months if I had to.
Yeah.
Oh no, dude.
See,
Like
I got good seals.
Yeah, me too.
Get out of here. I don't care how good your seals are. Hey, when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Hey, I don't have any poop stories.
Do I?
I can count them on one hand, but
Still,
I can count them on maybe two, maybe.
you're pushing 3 now. Am I getting older?
I got a few more. I'm gonna save them for some next shows. So
Good. Yeah, sure.
just wait till like Chris's seals wear out a little bit more.
oh, they're worn out, dude. I firmly believe that I got some IBS issues. So
Hey, wait a minute. Do you see that?
I do see it. Let's go ahead and do it.
Yeah, somebody else has a shit story. I think we should bring him on.
Are we?
This might be interesting because it might involve tacos and
yeah. That's
And
yeah.
now, our HVAC correspondent, live from Monterrey, Mexico, starring in the highly anticipated segment, Questions for Yamo.
Oh, what's going on from Mexico?
What's up, people? Thank you for watching the show.
So,
Really
Yamo, I got a question. Is it true that in Mexico, you guys don't flush toilet paper down the toilet?
Yeah, it's true.
Oh,
It's crazy, man. Like the first time I went to Mexico and seen that, I'm sitting on the toilet. I look down, I'm like, what the hell is that?
how bad does it smell? And is there somebody in your house that leaves the basket smelling a little bit worse than others?
It smells how you think it would smell.
good answer.
Yeah.
What's your story there, Yamo?
Not good.
My shit story was it happened like 10 years ago when I was working for a company doing HVAC or for a bank. I will not say the name of the bank. So I was called out.
Was it Bank of America?
It was Bank of Mexico, dude. Come on.
Bank of Mexico.
All right,
I
go
got
ahead.
$75 in there.
Let him go. Go ahead.
So I was called out for an on-call call, and I found out that one condenser fan motor has taken a dump. So I went back to the shop, pick up the new motor, and then when I was climbing the ladder, some need of taking a shit happened.
Mm-hmm.
On the
When I
ladder?
was
Climbing the ladder.
That's awesome.
Are we talking liquid?
What?
Like it had to come out like while you were mid climbing the ladder?
No, it was
That's not
Big.
OSHA approved, Yamo.
a big piece of crap.
It was a.
Well, thanks. Yeah.
Were you wearing basketball shorts? Like, how does that happen?
No, I had my bucket full of tools, and then I throw the bucket into the rooftop. Then I carried the motor into a rooftop very carefully. I was preparing my tools to do the change of the motor, and then I have to go. So where can I go?
Yeah.
So I
Absolutely.
took out the new motor of the box. I don't need to explain, I think. I dumped on the box of the motor, and then I took away my socks and wiped my ass with that.
Nice one.
I know you already told this story to us, and you said that you came back and got the box later. So my question to you is, did you hide the box in the return of the rooftop unit?
No, I was
Truth.
thinking of that, but I cannot do that. So I put it under the unit for 1 month. Then I returned and
You
I
were
told my
you're
helper,
like,
I
oh,
told-
crap, I never moved the
the
box.
company gave me a new helper. So I told my helper, hey, grab that box and throw it into the dumpster.
Well, if I know Mexico, that box was probably empty when you got back because they like to steal stuff over there.
Oh my god. You're allowed to say that, I guess. Your wife.
Mhm.
All right. So now that we've had shit stories, I think it's time we end this one, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Hit the thumbs up on the way out.
Yeah, smash the thumbs up button, guys. We're at 80 thumbs up. We got 133 people watching. Please get that number up. It really does help out the
Get it.
stream.
Mhm.
Come on. We're not getting out of here until we get at least 100. All right,
Don't
we're just gonna
forget-
sit here
A little bit of
quietly and look
motivation.
at you.
Coming up soon, it premieres next month, will be The California Prince, Chris and his family picking apples on Netflix. Produced by the Hallmark Channel.
Did we announce the swimsuit calendar?
Oh.
No, our holiday calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We haven't made it yet. It was an idea.
Well, we're gonna do it. We are, but it's not gonna be holiday because if it was holiday, every month would be Christmas, right?
Oh.
Or are we gonna
That's a
do
good
like
point.
one of those? What is it called when you have a
It'd be
December
themed for
one?
each month.
Where you open a little door for every day of December and you get like a
Oh,
chocolate
an advent calendar.
Advent calendar. Should we
No,
do one of
that's
those?
way too much work.
You think Mike?
Those are cool. I used to love them.
You think Mike can make us an advent calendar, dude?
He could do anything. Let's call
Let's,
him.
dude, let's get Mike. Dude, I'm telling you, an advent calendar would be awesome.
An HVAC Overtime advent calendar.
We need an advent calendar.
Certain
and there's a prize in every day. There's a trinket, there's a chocolate, there's something. We got to figure something out.
See, you know how much that's going to cost to fill up all these calendars with little trinkets?
Well, I don't think a lot of people are going to want them. I think we could just probably make a prototype and give it to one person.
I think our one calendar we made.
Now, if we did the actual like themed monthly calendars where it's like July and we dress up like Uncle Sam,
that's what we should do.
You know, it's February and we're all, you know, Valentine's Day, we're wearing pink. I don't know.
That sounds gay.
That would.
That does sound
totally gay.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No,
totally. It's totally gay, but that's all right. we all got the same sort of swimsuit parts, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Time to play swords.
I don't want to see your swimsuit parts.
Just different bulges. Now on that note,
that reminds me.
That
Wait. I have to get this off my chest because
don't cross
it is literally tearing the show apart. Behind the scenes, you guys watching, you don't really know what's going on behind the scenes, but we have this private chat behind the scenes to kind of keep us all in line and figure out things for the show, right?
Where the hell is this going right now? Because
should I put my finger on the button?
It's really been just like it's coming apart at the seams, honestly, behind the scenes. Like we almost didn't even do the show. We almost canceled it forever because of what I'm about to say.
Shit.
So a couple days ago,
story.
I got up real early in the morning, right? And I got into the chat and I said, first message of the day, right? Just because.
Mind you, it's at 3:30 Central Time in the morning.
Exactly.
I want to say it was like, yeah, so what would that be my time?
1:30.
1:30, yeah.
I type my message and then all of a sudden I get a little ding. I'm like, oh, lucky me. And I look down, it's Chris. I'm like, oh, I feel even better now because Chris, of all people, has responded to my message. He said, second message of the day. I'm like, well, what are you doing up? It's like 1 o'clock in the morning where you're at. He said something about going to the bathroom, whatever. He had to
get a drink.
Get a drink. So he was dehydrated from the party or whatever, I'm like, all right, that's cool, whatever. And then I was like, you need to get to bed. And he's like, yeah, I do. And then I was looking for a GIF or a GIF, something that said, sleep tight.
Good
don't
night.
let the bed bugs bite. And I accidentally hit one that said, good night, I love you. With hearts and like glowy things. And
it was
glitter.
awesome.
Awesome.
I'm like,
And your answer
man.
was good too, Bill. Chris was awesome.
What did I do? And then he just responds, dork. And I know how he felt inside because I felt it too. We both felt a certain awkwardness. And for the rest of the week, I couldn't talk to Chris. I couldn't look at him because of this. This is because of these awkward feelings that are between us.
Listen, I try to smooth it out, Bill. In the morning, that first morning when I seen all that, shenanigans going on, my message was good morning. I love you too with a big elephant.
But the next message after Chris said dork, Bill was like, what do you say? He's like, okay, I need to get some coffee now because this turned really awkward.
Like super awkward, like just like that. Awkward time.
I went back to bed. And then I wake up to Adam saying, I wonder what Chris is dreaming about. And then
yes.
Just going back and forth.
Bill said,
and I said, Chris is probably dreaming of all of us running through a wheat field in the sun. It was the sun's cresting over the horizon, holding hands. I'm pretty sure that's true.
Oh, man.
So now that that's out, hopefully we can move on, Chris.
Yes.
I think my emoji was a pineapple surfing the waves.
My wife I've been informing her on the pineapple stuff because what was it the other night? I went out to drinks with my wife or something, and I think I sent a picture of the drinks, and someone said something about a pineapple party or pineapple something, and I'm cracking up over here, and I'm supposed to be like hanging out with my wife, and she's like, "What are you laughing about?" And I'm like, "The guys, someone said something about a pineapple," and she's like, "What is the whole pineapple thing?" And I said, "Oh, all right." So then I had to explain it to her, and she's all, "That's not funny." Like, oh man.
Yeah, she probably had a serious face. And
see, that's like that is the exact moment where you kind of like throw the idea out there and see the reaction of the other spouse and kind of like
and then you're like, oh yeah, no, me neither.
it's not
I'd
cool,
never do
not
that.
funny. Nope,
Yeah.
not cool.
Yeah.
But just in case it goes the other way, you know.
No, I don't.
Wow!